First of all, if you're watching this video or checking out this podcast, an episode about savings, congratulations. That means you're probably saving and you've started to break the paycheck to paycheck cycle, develop that savings muscle or habit that can totally bring you into a better and brighter future. So kudos to you. Congratulations. Now you have entered the land of trying to figure out how your yNAB software should change because you have extra funds that go beyond the everyday expenses and the short-term funds and things. So let me show you around to this beautiful savings land and help you get acquainted with what things look like here. Welcome to the FIFE Movement. I'm your host, Amanda Neely, and this is the only movement that helps our generation create our unique entrepreneurial and feminine path to financial independence. Please be sure to subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, hit that bell for future videos. Now, the first thing you need to know before we start all the screen share and talk about savings is that there are different kinds of savings. And then the second thing you need to know is that saving is different than investing. First, let's talk about those different kinds of savings. From my experience, it's been tremendously helpful to divide out short-term saving, medium-term saving, and long-term saving. Now, short term includes things that happen once per year or less often, maybe quarterly. Things like the year-end holidays, birthdays, vacations, maintenance. If I owned a car, car maintenance would go there too, right? The quarterly oil change, that kind of thing. Medium term includes things that happen like 2 to 10 years, like new glasses, don't need those every year now, buying a car, bigger travel, replacing furniture and mattresses, home repairs, like a new roof, those things happen less frequently. And then long-term expenses or savings is really savings for a time in life when I might not be able to work or I might not want to work any longer. It's for, that time in life. Now, like most of you, I put short-term savings on my regular budget. It's right there in the short-term funds categories within the yNAB. But the medium and long-term savings get their own very special budget so that I'm not distracted by those things or thinking I have more money than I actually do for the monthly and annual. So when I'm working on the monthly and annual, I don't even see those. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. So I want to show you what that medium and long-term saving budget actually looks like. So let me do the screen share. So welcome to my medium and long-term savings yNAB budget here. You'll notice there's medium-term savings, long-term savings, and then some business things that I keep in savings. Now, you're going to be like, hello, wait a second. Homeowners insurance gets paid annual. Property taxes, don't they get paid at least annual, if not every 6 months? Yes, they do. I've chosen, instead of using escrow, to use a different savings vehicle to put those in. It's one of the strategies that I use to capitalize on the growth of those funds throughout the year. So actually add them to some of these other medium-term savings to just get some more growth on my money, right? Get that compound interest growing, even though I do need to pay my homeowners insurance and my property taxes. And then this home, it's not really for furniture except for maybe like the mattress every 8 years. Some maintenance could be there for like emergencies, that kind of thing, but really it's repairs, like a roof repair or something really major. Yes, I do have that on my short-term budget as well. That's for more like, that's my priority. I want to do some fun things there. These are going to probably have to happen. I am going to need a new roof eventually, that kind of thing. I make sure I'm for sure setting aside some money for that here. Medium-term spending, this is where I save for all kinds of things that happen, like I need glasses, and that, things like that. We actually have a separate list somewhere else that I don't keep within yNAB. Keep my emergency fund here, rather than on my regular budget. because the emergencies should not be happening every month or every year. It is for the kind of once in a lifetime emergency type thing. And then a car fund, we do eventually want to buy a car, so we're saving for that here as well. And then long-term savings, I have our son's adulting fund for when he becomes an adult, whether he goes to college or starts a job. We're helping save for helping him make that transition. We have the in case my mom gets sick fund. We take care of my mom, so it's a really important thing for us. It might not ever happen, but that's important. Growth fund, this is for personal development or for business development, what we want to personally set aside to help the business or to help ourselves. And then, of course, retirement, that time when we're financially independent, we're able to work for something other than money, just to give our gift to the world. And then some business things do go into the short-term and the medium and long-term funds as well. Yes, taxes are paid annually, but just like the homeowners insurance and property taxes, I'm making sure I get some extra growth on those funds throughout the year before I have to pay them in March or April. And then the vault is more for the longer term things within our business to be able to grow or to cover an emergency. So that's kind of the overview of how I set it up. Pretty basic. I try to keep it as simple as possible, right? I don't have like glasses, pulled out compared with like a mattress or, something like that. Just kind of give the overall view there. Now, the other thing I mentioned is that saving is different than investing. And this is really important. Currently, I don't invest. When you see that retirement account within my long-term savings, that is legitimately savings. It's not investing. And saving for me means my money is safe and I can count on it being there. It's not put at risk. Whereas investing, I'm putting my money at risk. And currently, I don't do that. My riskiest investment is within my business and doing things like spending time making YouTube videos and podcasts. But maybe in the future, I will plan on investing maybe in real estate, maybe in the stock market, to be determined. But when I invest, I plan to have it be a portion of those longer term funds and only the portion that I feel comfortable losing in part or in whole, right? Only what I feel comfortable risking. Now, I'm going to kind of set up my budget. Let's pretend that today I'm going to start investing. So let me share my screen again. And I'm just going to go to an account so I can show you what this would be like. So here, let's pretend that this was going to be an investment that I do. I would track it a little differently. So actually, let me go back to the budget and I'm going to add a category group and I'm going to call this long-term investing. Okay. So it puts it at the top. I'm going to put it down at the bottom because it's not important to me. Or it's not as important as the other ones. And then here, then I can add a group. And I would actually divide out my contributions differently than the growth or loss so that I can track those separately. And then let's say this is my investing account. It's not, but let's pretend it is. Let's say today I add a contribution to it. I'd put that in here. Sorry, I'm going to scroll over so you can see the rest of this. And I would put an inflow of $100, right? Maybe that's what I invest today. Actually, let me go back a month so we can see this tracking over a month. Okay. So now when I go to the budget, you see that $100 for my contributions here. And then let's say I log in today to check my account balance and I see that there's $110. All I would do is hit reconcile here. Oh, I'd say no, the balance is not 100, it's 110. And I didn't reconcile. Let's do this. Hold on. This is a good learning experience. I'm going to delete that one. Then I'm going to mark as cleared these two. And then now I'm going to reconcile. And no, it's not 100, it's 110. And it's going to add that $10 difference as to be budgeted. But what I'm actually going to do is go here and add that instead to the growth or loss. So now I'm able to track on my budget. Here's my contributions. Here's the growth or loss that I've had. So I can actually do the math then and see I got a 10% return. That feels really good. But then let's say tomorrow, or it's the weekend, but let's say tomorrow I log in and it's changed. I wouldn't recommend doing this on a monthly or on a daily basis. But let's pretend like this was a week ago. I don't even recommend doing this on a weekly basis, maybe monthly or quarterly. But let's say today I log in, and now all of a sudden my balance is $90. I can put that in, the difference, create, and it's not really to be budgeted. I'm going to put that again in my growth or loss fund. And now when I go to my budget, I'm going to see a negative amount there. And I know I got to cover that from somewhere. My contributions were 100, but my loss was $10. That means I need to, factor that in somewhere else in my budget to account for that loss, or just be okay with that being negative for now. And that's how I plan if I ever do investing, to track, to see the real numbers of what's really happening with my investments. Now, there's a couple of other things I wanted to share about investing. The first thing to consider is, do you have the short and medium term funds to cover your true expenses this year, over the next 10 years? Are you saving regularly within your monthly and annual budget for embracing your true expenses? In those short-term funds, are you saving regularly for the medium-term things that you're going to need? And are you doing that before you invest? And then secondly, how often are you tracking those investments? Too often might be causing worry, or making you make too many trades that, the fees eat away at your growth. You're trying to time the market. That doesn't really work. Too infrequent, and you might not have a good pulse on what's really going on. I've heard that quarterly is a great place to start for tracking purposes. And then finally, how are you tracking? Do you track your contributions compared with your growth? And, you know, uh, how would that work for you? And of course, if this is like, say, a 401k at work and you're getting a match, you could even add a separate line item on the budget there to track your employer's contribution as well. But that's my take on how to budget saving and investing in yNAB. Now, you might have noticed that in the medium and long-term saving is close to the top of my regular budget right after giving. I do have a saving there, and then that money actually gets moved to the other budget that's for medium and long-term saving. And it's because I believe a portion of all I earn is mine to keep. If you want to learn more about that, check out episode 22, where we talked about money management in 10 words. But I take first from what I'm paid, or actually second after charitable giving. And that's how important medium and long-term saving is to me. I keep it a priority. I keep it at the top of my budget, because I know if I don't have it, I'll be scrambling when I need new glasses or a car or a new mattress. I don't want to put those things off when they are really needed. But I also, don't want them on my regular budget to make me feel like I have more money than I actually do, right, for the regular things. And same goes for long-term savings. When I'm forced to stop working, or I want to stop working, I don't want to be scrambling to figure things out then. So I want that tracking for me, keeping a good eye on it. And plus, if I actually want financial independence, I better have some long-term savings set aside for me, right? So that's my take. Now I want to hear from you. How are you inspired today? What are you going to do differently because of my example? What else do you do that you think I or others in the community should be aware of? Please let me know in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're checking out the podcast version, head on over to the YouTube link in the show notes and give us your comments there. For now, thanks for joining me and connecting with the FIFE movement. As you go about your day, remember, wealth is coming your way. Your quest is to prepare for using it well. For more tips on how to prepare, be sure to subscribe, and to connect with the community, visit fifemovement.com. If my gift has helped you today, please pay this gift forward by sharing this content with a friend. My gratitude in advance. To help this video be seen by more people, please hit the like button. We invite your feedback in the comments as well. Please share your tips for what you do for medium and long-term savings goals.